Hey Zach, how's it going?
Oh, Clara! Clara! Oh, Clara! Do you know where the Hybrid is, Clara?
Why are you wearing... Never mind. Kane. Not Clara. Kane.
Clara! Would you like a tangerine, Clara?
Nobody likes tangerines. Fuck, I had a nightmare. I dreamt I was in Zach's room.
Fuck! What's wrong, Kane? You alright? You dozed off there for a second.
I had this dream where you were dressed as Peter Capaldi and you were handing me a tangerine and calling me Clara.
Hybrid? What? Wait, what? That was all a dream? What the fuck? Wait, someone's coming to my room.
Tangerine?
Yeah, I'm in the frame. How you doing, everyone? This has been a long time since we've
It's been a
recorded a
hot
video in this room. It's actually kind of awesome. We're finally back here doing a review. Oh, for fuck's sake. We're too big for this set now. We're just too tall. I mean, actually, I won't make a joke. I won't make a height joke because you're here. How you doing, Kane? It's been a while since you've been in this room.
It has been a while.
It's been a hot second, but
With everything that's been going on.
yeah, with the pandemic, we haven't been able to be indoors until now to record videos in person like this. But yeah, it's awesome though. We're finally here and we're reviewing a Doctor Who episode. At long last. It's the last time we recorded an episode. When was the last time? It was 2018 probably.
It was 2018/2019 because you're at mine.
It was 2018, I think.
Okay.
I was at your uni accommodation, and I think we reviewed some Jodie Whittaker episode from Series 11.
Yeah.
A long time ago now. But yeah, what we're reviewing today, Kane? We're reviewing a Capaldi episode.
We're reviewing the Christmas special for last Christmas.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think this is Peter Capaldi's best Christmas special. Actually, that isn't really saying much, because what this is contending with is Twice Upon a Time, Doctor Mysterio, and Husbands of River Song isn't that bad, but still, like
yeah, that one's not that bad.
I don't mind Husbands of River Song anymore. That one's okay, but I think this is probably my favorite Capaldi Christmas special, and it has Nick Frost, which is great. We're always a big fan of Nick Frost.
Trilogy.
Yeah, but no, this is we used to hate on this episode blindly because we weren't a big fan of Capaldi's era because of the writing at the time. We didn't know how good we had it. We did not know how good we had it. We were just complaining about the writing in this era.
How dumb we were.
How naive.
How naive.
Yeah, but goddamn. In hindsight, I think the only thing that we dislike about this episode, watching it back, I think, is the acting on Jenna Coleman's as Clara.
Jenna Coleman
at the start, though.
Yeah.
We I think you pointed this out. Is like when she starts the dream sequence with Danny Pink, she gets really good at acting.
Yes.
Like after, I was like, wait, what happened in her head there? Like it was something like, oh, I need to act, and it suddenly became like, instead of being oh, Santa's here. Okay, it turned from that to, oh, I love you, Danny Pink. I'm so sad, and she cries on command, and it's just a lot better.
Actually, I think it was like the first reference of Danny.
Yeah,
with
which kicks her character.
The emotion where she slaps.
Which I suppose it makes sense for the episode, but you'd expect a bit more of a reaction for seeing the Doctor for the first time in however many years, in context to the story, and also fucking realizing that Santa may or may not be real as a reaction at the start of the episode. You'd expect a better reaction than, are you real? Yeah, it's just a bit flat, isn't it? But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Are They Real, like, the theme of the film is...
The sun is roasting our brain, or is it the dream crabs melting away our brain inside?
I think
you
it's
feel
the
a pain
alcohol.
in your temple? Yeah, we've had a bit of. Oh, we forgot to include the thing where he goes, "There's not enough drink. There's not enough alcohol for this."
Oh well,
It's fine.
maybe another video.
Anyway, but no. I hope you enjoyed that skit. By the way, it was a lot of fun to do. Anyway.
Yeah, back to it. The theme of the episode is what's real and what's not.
Like perception of like
and there's
reality.
And there's it's implied from the very beginning, where with Clara, the first thing she says isn't, "Are you Santa Claus?"
Real?
Is this, "Are you real?"
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
So even from the very beginning, it was inkling is like something's off.
I think because when we watched it back, we already knew most of the twists that were going on. There were a few things that were like, "Oh yeah, this happened. Oh, that's kind of cool." But most of it, when we were off the bat, we were like, "Actually, there's a lot of cool little clues at the start, which lead to the twist at the end that we never noticed on first watch." Where it was like, actually, the script is kind of clever. There's actually kind of cool aspects to it that we didn't notice last time we watched it.
Yeah, I would see like rewatching it. I can see it's like, I think one of the issues we had is like, how did they, like some of the things they said early on, we'd questions like, but how would you already know that this, and this?
Yeah.
It was like, well,
it makes sense in context to the fact that, like, with dreams, if you think of something, it kind of appears in the dream in some form, which is how the dream crabs became engrossed in the dream. Why they're in there.
Yeah.
And
and continuing on the is it real all the way through, until the actual twist was properly revealed. There was little details on what people said. How, like, they would say something like what you call the Jodie Whittaker clone.
Oh yeah,
Jodie
there's this character, I've forgotten her name. Oh, I wish I knew her name. She had the same haircut, she had the same Geordie accent, and she was acting all like whimsical and quirky. I'm like, this is Jodie Whittaker's Doctor before Jodie Whittaker was a thing. This is just weird.
Before she existed.
It's the most like closest to a multi-Doctor story, because she talks all sciencey in it as well at the start, and it's like, what are we watching right here? Is this like just?
Yeah.
I don't even understand that, but it's funny regardless. But
yeah, but with the Jodie Whittaker clone, she even says at the beginning to Santa, "You're not real."
Yeah,
but
like, no one clicks that. Oh, are we dreaming? And it's like they didn't really stop to consider. Are they actually dreaming?
I've had lots of dreams like that where
you wake up and you're still in the dream.
Not even that, but it's like I would realize something, but it wouldn't click why.
Yeah,
like one dream I had, where it's like it was in a maths class. There was like a water. I was late, and I walked in, and there was a water bed or something.
What?
No, not water slide.
Oh.
And
I was like, that's abnormal here. Yeah.
What makes this dream even funnier is what got me out, make me realise it was a dream. It's like all of that was like, this is unusual.
Oh well.
What made me notice was he was doing maths work in
That's
silence.
Rude.
In
How
silence.
Oh yeah, in silence, I suppose.
And I was like, hang on.
Class, so.
It's also the fact you were in the same class as me.
Oh yeah, we're never in the same classes in school. But no, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like little details like that is like the fact that it's like they would say something, but they wouldn't realise what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Like they would say, "Oh, are we dreaming right now?" They were just saying it like hypothetically. What if we're dreaming right now? How do we know we're not? And it's like, well, yeah. How do you know you're not? Maybe you should wake up. It's just a lot like that, isn't it? But yeah, I find that kind of cool. Love Nick Frost.
Nick Frost.
He's so good in this. He's much more like rough around the edges, like a great iteration of Santa Claus being more just whimsical rather than being like, oh, I'm an old man and doesn't know what to do anything. He's much more like, the fuck do you think, mate? He's just so much more just straight to the point kind of thing.
What?
He's a lot more like the Doctor.
Which links to what cool. My reaction. In my eyes, this will be an amazing story for a comeback for Dream Lord. Whereas Santa is the Dream Lord.
Truth. Yeah.
I mean, you only see him in dreams, but I know that's that's the point. It's like, but it's also the last dream you're in is the Doctor's.
Yep. Yeah. Because the Doctor is like
the last one.
He sees Clara old, and then Clara all old and wrinkly and all that, and then Santa comes in and is like, "Oh, plot twist! You were dreaming the whole time. She's not really old." And then it's like, "Oh,
we'll get back to that bit in a sec."
Yeah, I know.
But like, I like the fact is like even his attitude, how don't get along, like
Yeah.
with Matt Smith and his
With-
version of.
We're
the Dream
talking about
Lords.
the episode Amy's Choice, where
Yeah.
Amy, Rory, and the Doctor are in this time loop, dream loop, where they think that basically they're living in like a future world where Amy's pregnant and all that, and then they're living in the TARDIS also, where they think they're in the present or whatever, where they're drifting towards a star, and they have to choose which is real and which is the dream, and the Dream Lord's like, ooh, and then it turns out they were dreaming both of them, and they wake up in the real life, and it turns out that it was all just like a fabrication, and it was all just a figment of the Doctor's something, right? And
subconscious.
Yeah.
And Dream Lord is like a subconscious.
it's like a part of the Doctor.
making you question what's reality.
exactly.
Which Santa falls a similar role.
Yeah, because he keeps showing up in all these different versions of dreams they keep waking up in. Like, they wake up in more dreams, obviously, and then the Santa keeps showing up. So it feels like he's like
After they realise
part
as
of
well.
it. Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
So,
and it even shows like even the Dream Lords
the Dream Lord should come back in some form.
evolves as regenerates
Yeah.
in some ways. Like it's not an actual regeneration. It's like
No.
this Doctor is more grouchy
Yeah, exactly.
than Matt Smith was. So a Dream Lord personified as Santa is a good alternative.
Because he's an old man who's more grumpy, and he's less like sort of like quirky and more, sarcastic. Isn't he?
Yeah.
So I think that's a cool
Yeah.
twist on that. But yeah.
Yeah, although like most people would think it's like, oh, they're reusing a character which is like a one-off. It's like,
Yeah.
but he was set up to be more than
The
that.
Dream Lord should have been more. I wish that. I mean, obviously, it probably won't happen now because it was a character written by Stephen Moffat. But I
Yeah.
wish that they'd done more with that. I mean, this episode would have been perfect for a twist like that, where Toby Jones just shows up and he's like, "Surprise, I'm back." That
No,
would have actually been sick, wouldn't it?
That, or we could have just had it where he,
The Doctor
Nick
explains.
Frost is just the Dream Lord.
Yeah, because the Dream Lord could take any form. You could explain it like that or whatever. That would have been that
take
would
any
actually been really
form.
cool.
Time Lords regenerate, and he's this personification. And I can't remember his name. What's his name? The Dream Lord.
The actor is Toby
Yeah.
Jones. Yeah,
Yeah, Toby Jones. He's not the same as
Yeah.
Matt Smith. There's a bit.
there's a bit of a clash there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Santa does with.
With
Peter.
Capaldi, yeah, exactly. That would have been so good. I think Amy's Choice is a good episode as well. It's a great concept, and that's why this episode feels similar, because it's all about dreams and which
Yeah.
are we
But
in the
that's-
real world right now, or are we still dreaming? It's a similar concept, except it's instead of personified through the Dream Lord, it's personified through these dream crab things,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
But enough of Amy's Choice. We should stay to this
yeah,
one
yeah,
now.
we'll review that another day.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a good episode. I think we should at some point. But
Yeah. When it comes to this one, as we've mentioned, the acting with Clara was very dull
flat
at the very beginning.
At the first, yeah.
It's
But it picked up
Santa.
though. It picked up, especially towards the end. Oh yeah, oh Santa, hi. It's just,
Yeah.
I think we pointed out that this version of Capaldi is very different from Series 9.
Yes.
Where he shows up on the tank and when he's playing an electric guitar and he's got sunglasses. Like,
He's more.
that is very... Because he had like a very sarcastic, like sort of like chemistry with Clara in this, where it's like, where the Doctor
He had
goes,
his
would you
dry
like to get me a
sense of
cup
humour.
of tea? And then Clara goes, oh, what else would you like with it? And he's like, maybe a punch in the face. And because I just love the chemistry between the two of them in this. It's just very natural, whereas it's very forced.
And
And
it
it seems very
shows-
childish in Series 9.
Yeah.
But
Where it is now is how in Last Christmas how
Sorry,
they
haven't got Rona, I swear.
how the chemistry was in this episode shows the evolution where my mind's
Yeah.
blank. Clara.
Oh, yeah, that's her name. Yeah.
You only said it about 10 times at my face.
Clara.
Yeah, Clara like started off like not liking this Doctor,
Yeah.
and of
That
course,
was the whole arc in Series 8.
yeah,
It
and
was
but of course
amazing.
throughout there was always a little bit of fun
Chemistry,
play,
yeah.
fun play of like they won't get as long as the
Yeah,
other two.
it went from a sort of like best friend sort of like chemistry between Matt Smith and her to more of like a granddad, like sort of like a really like angsty teenager being like, Doctor, what are you doing at my school kind of thing. Obviously she's a teacher, but you know what I mean? It's kind of that sort of like other, like it really does rejig the sort of like the status quo of the Doctor companion thing they've got going on.
Yeah.
So
At which point, like after this point, I'm pretty sure they
any nuance to their
Resets it.
chemistry kind of goes away with Series 9 when they come
where
back.
she starts becoming risky.
And
you
more
put it, right?
reckless, and it's just
Yeah.
that's not a character arc. Like she gets more risky until she accidentally kills herself with Face the Raven, where she's like, "Oh, I'll save someone," and doesn't realize that she's not the Doctor and can't regenerate. And it's just like That's not a character arc. It's just because at the end of the day, we're getting to the point where it's like Clara's writing was always a bit up and down. In Series 8, it was okay. I didn't mind it in Series 8. But in Series 9, it just became this thing where it's like they didn't know what to do with her. And it was very apparent because in an interview, I think I told you this earlier today, where it's like her last episode was meant to be this one, Last Christmas, where...
And even sets it up to have a good ending.
Yeah, where she's old and she dies of old age or whatever. Or she doesn't die of old age, but she doesn't travel with the Doctor anymore because she's too old. And then Series 9 is something else without Clara. And that would have been sick because it's like... Clara's had her arc. She didn't trust the Doctor at the start of Series 8, and then she falls in love with Danny Pink, loses Danny Pink, then loses the Doctor, and then the Doctor comes back, and she regains her faith in the Doctor, and she's too old to travel with him anymore.
Yeah,
that's
but
a great
happy
arc.
ending, as she's had
a good life.
Good life.
Yeah. It would have been
she's
so good.
Lived her life without the Doctor.
And the stuff of her being super old and Capaldi being the one that's helping her mirrors her stuff in Time of the Doctor, where Matt Smith was all old and he was going to die facing the Daleks or whatever, and she was like, "Oh,
a cyclical plot."
Yeah, and it's another Christmas episode as well, and it's like, "Oh, there's a Christmas cracker, and we have to." Yeah, I think it would have been
if it ended
so
right
good.
there.
It would have been. That would have been good.
It would have been like a sadder ending, but it would have been a better ending than what I call the New Who cliche,
where it's like you can't showrunners just don't seem to understand let your characters conclude. Just don't, because
they have to go off in their own adventures.
Yeah, like spin-offs that never happen as well. It's like that sort of thing with... Sorry, I was a globus, but there. Like Rose had to go in a parallel universe. Donna had to have a mind wipe. She couldn't just die. And then Bill couldn't just die as a Cyberman. She had to become immortal as like a water god or whatever. And it's just a bit like, come on, you've got to give your characters some nuance with their conclusion. You've got to give these characters a book ending. You can't have Clara run away in a TARDIS with a shielder, damn Maisie Williams, at the end of Series 9. This was much better ending. A much better ending.
Yeah, just...
Oh, God.
Yes, it's sad she would never got to continue adventures with
But it was
Peter,
such a good conclusion.
She got to live a full life instead of having it ended quickly.
Yeah.
Only for that to be reset as well.
Yeah.
There's how many endings has she technically had?
Yeah, a lot.
How many times has she died?
Yeah, a lot. Jesus Christ, loads, because she was like the impossible girl at one point. Yeah, her character was all over the place.
The first Doctor.
Yeah, and she died in all of those as well, because she was like saving the Doctor, killing herself or whatever, hundreds of times or whatever. It's just a bit stupid. I don't know. I mean, like I said, this episode's great. I think the only issue with it is Clara. I mean, her acting's good halfway through, but her acting's a bit flat at the start, and her should have been conclusion would have been brilliant. But it's like, it was like, oh no, Santa showed up, and it's like, oh, this was a dream. It's like, oh, so she isn't old. Well, what was the point of that scene then? It's just a bit pointless then. I feel like it was definitely, as you were saying,
that was meant to be. I think
like you said when we were watching it, you said there must have been some sort of like last minute change while filming it, because that very much felt like a goodbye to Clara when they were sat there and they were opening the Christmas cracker. Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, I lived a good life. It's fine." And
I reckon they were mid filming, nearly finished.
Jenna was like, "Actually, can I do Series 9?" Jenna Coleman was like, "Actually, I want to do Clara for one more season." It definitely felt like that, didn't it? Like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit annoying.
Right. Enough with Clara.
Yeah, Clara. Anyway,
the comedy.
Yeah,
it was really
for
funny.
some reason it was just great. Especially Nick Frost. You could tell when Nick Frost added a line into the script, because he was just full of.
Or at least he adapted it to him.
Yeah, exactly, to his humor. Because it was like, oh, how could you imagine as Santa Claus posts presents to every children on Earth? Of course not. I have 2 sleighs, and it's just like,
I have 2 sleighs.
There's just so many good jokes in there. It's just
again,
great.
even that type of comedy works as a Dream Lord thing.
Yeah, it does actually. And I think, and the thing is, this episode also spawned the iconic in-joke, nobody likes tangerines as well.
It's up there? No.
Where is it?
It's over here.
Where's the tangerine? Yeah, we use this as a prop for a certain skit that you've seen already. But anyway, it's funny though.
My fat head's there.
Wait. There you go. There you go. Perfect. But no. Yeah, I think it's a actually really impressed me. Because obviously it's like meant to be a piss take of the face huggers from Aliens, but they reference it when they're like, yeah, we know it's a ripoff, but it makes sense for the story because the whole point of the dream in this case is that if you think of something, it appears in the dream with you, which was the whole point of the start, where this Jodie Whittaker lookalike was in the room with these dream crab people, and she was like, I can't think of them, otherwise they'll see me or whatever, or they'll appear or whatever. Which makes sense for the story, where it's like the dream crabs only appear if you think of them, when at the end of the day, one of the characters mentioned, oh, they look like the face crabs from Aliens, and it's like, as you say that, they appear or whatever, because that's the reason they're there in the first place, is because they thought of them, right? Because that's how
because one of them actually had a checklist. The Jodie Whittaker clone had a checklist, which the first one said, like watch Alien.
Yeah, watch Alien, and then The Thing as well, because they were in like an Arctic base, and they were like, and they had like a research base, and that was just like The Thing. That screams The Thing, and then the face huggers as well. That's like Alien. It's just such a great play on that as well.
Yeah, and because a lot of the times, especially with me, dreams are impacted by what you've watched.
Yeah, exactly.
Many times I've had Pennywise chase me for some reason.
Yeah,
I was like, piss off.
Yeah, go away. Come on,
go away.
Not again.
South and out, or you can eat my flatmate.
I mentioned this when we were watching this as well, how I love it when Doctor Who episodes, when Christmas episodes in particular, have a big element of Christmas in there, but that isn't the main meat of the story. It is that this episode has elements. The dream element, and it has the face crab element, and it also has Clara being old secretly, and also the twists. But then it also has a big theme of Christmas with Santa being there all the time, and obviously the whole idea of the reindeers and the elves in there, and I just like that when Doctor Who episodes are less in your face about Christmas, but it is also like, come on, it's a Christmas episode. It's snowing. There's it's just a lot of nuance in there. I like that a lot.
What's another good episode that does that? Voyage of the Damned.
Yes. Also,
it's Christmas. It's like angels.
I think Christmas Carol also, but to a lesser degree, because there's a strong sense of Christmas here.
Yeah,
with a Christmas Carol being just a rip off of that. But I do love it, and it's good, and like I say, it's about sharks and this guy who has a
flying sharks.
I know, yeah, flying shark. He's a fucking screwdriver. But yeah, I think it's I like Doctor Who episodes have sometimes been good with that, not all the time though. Like the Runaway Bride is all right with that, I suppose, but the Christmas Invasion is a bit heavy-handed with that. But at the same time, it does have the sicker acts in there, so I feel like most of the time, Doctor has a good mixture of Christmas, but not too much of Christmas, because it is Doctor Who. It's meant to be sci-fi, so. But yeah, I think it's great. Nick Frost is fucking brilliant. Most of the acting is good. I love Capaldi in this. I think he's actually really good in this one.
Yes.
Really funny as well. Like, he's not meant to be funny, but he's funny. In the way he's
dry
meant to be.
humour.
Yep,
type of funny.
very dry humour.
And which also worked with how Clara was portrayed previously.
Yes. Yeah.
Like she was had a tiny bit of naivety to her, and innocence, and he's like, stop it.
No, I don't like the hug and go away.
And she's like, oh come on. It's like,
No, and that's the character arc. There's more character arc in there because he's at first he hated hugging, and now Clara's hugging him. He's like, oh, for God's sake, not again. He's a bit Supporting cast is great as well. Like the people you see in there as well, they're good. Apart from that one guy that gets killed off halfway through, just gets pulled through the television screen, and he's dead. We don't hear from him again.
Yeah.
But that's like, okay, you've got to kill off someone, otherwise the stakes aren't really there, are they? So
yeah, I guess
that makes sense. But you don't really get much from him, do you? But all the same, it's good.
No,
he just character death in there.
I mean, he led to a good line from the Doctor. He went, "They're face huggers."
Oh yeah,
face huggers.
Oh yeah, that really good line.
From Alien.
There's a horror film called Alien. No wonder they keep invading you.
That's extremely offensive. No wonder you keep getting invaded.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's like, yeah, that would make sense. Like one of the reasons, like they're just
it's obviously.
It's a funny one.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I love the twist at the end, how none of them are researchers, and this whole base they were at wasn't real in the first place. I think it's really cleverly done as well. Like I said this before, it's like a good Moffat episode, because Moffat usually likes to do these convoluted time travel perception episodes where it's like you don't know what's happening until the very end where the twist happens. But this one was done well because it's explained early on, so it's not like it doesn't come out of nowhere and you're like, what the fuck? It was dreaming the whole time. You're explained the whole time that you need to question what's real or if you're in a dream, like right from the start, and it just carries through, and you don't know. And the good thing about it is that you keep guessing because you keep waking up from dreams, and they still don't know where they are, which is good. I like that a lot.
I want to know why hell is the Doctor in a volcano?
Oh yeah,
That sounds
because
like
he
a
wakes
really
up from a
good story.
dream.
That would have been.
Yeah, yeah,
No, it's like the fact that he also woke up in the real world.
yeah.
There
In
as
the
well.
volcano, yeah.
It's
So
like, what is that story?
yeah,
Did you get
that would have
drunk
been
and
good.
get lost in Pompeii while you were saving Pompeii with a character?
That's the same actor who has a mysteriously similar face to you. Yeah.
While there's a version of you who doesn't have your face there.
Yeah. No, yeah.
That would have been a cool story. Just have Peter Capaldi hiding in the background.
Yeah. He's like, tangerines. Just looking around as they...
Eating a tangerine after saying you don't like them.
No, I don't like tangerines. Go away. Yeah. Yeah. I think that would have been interesting. But no, I like the idea of Clara being old. I just wish they would have stuck to their guns.
Was the ending?
kept it.
That was the ending.
That was a good ending for Clara. It really would have been, because she lived a good life. It would have been a good ending for her character, but then Santa's like, nah. Go save her, Doctor. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but it's like that you missed a trick there. That would have been a really good final episode for Clara. Especially with her consoling of the Doctor about how Danny died, was dead the whole time, and they both lied to each other, so they both live happy lives, not realizing that they both lied to each other for the same reasons. How the Doctor was like, oh, I pretended Gallifrey was there so you'd be with Danny. I pretended that Danny was alive so you'd go to Gallifrey. And it's like, wait, what? Yeah, that's a really cool, really, really nice moment of their chemistry and how far they've come, how they care about each other so much, but they don't want to express it. That's just really cool.
Yeah, because even that, like the fact that he, after finding out that Danny wasn't there, he having him go forwards, like realizing, like he's gonna, like want to. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Well, I mean, obviously,
with the knowledge is like he lost out the opportunity to be with one of his companions.
Yeah.
Because of lies they told each other.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Could have pushed him a bit more, but no, it's like, hey, it's all happy, hey.
Yeah.
All happy, get from the get-go, and now I've got a guitar.
It feels like there's no consequences to it, which is what
Consequences.
Yeah, there's no consequences to characters messing up, and so, I mean, actually, Danny comes back, and it's actually really cool how they don't bring him back. They just have him in a dream, and he's still dead. I was worried because when this episode came out, I was like, or when this episode was rumored that Danny was going to be in it, and I was like, oh no, Danny, they did it again. Their companion isn't going to properly die. They're going to bring them back in some convoluted sci-fi gobbledygook.
Yeah,
no, they didn't.
You just couldn't do it twice. You can only do it once, apparently.
Yeah.
Every 10 years.
But yeah, I genuinely...
Hang on, when was Martha?
Martha?
Yeah, you can only let one person live a proper life.
2007.
Yeah, you can only...
Yeah.
What's the difference between that and...
2014 this came out.
Yeah,
Christmas 2014.
So apparently you can only have one companion actually have a good ending where they'd go by, where it ends there instead of them having 10,000 different lives.
Yeah.
Once every 7 years.
Yeah. Yeah, but if it's 7 years, why didn't we get a good ending for Graham and Ryan in Jodie's era?
They tried to, but the show was just...
It's like, oh, we're not killing off any companions because we have no balls to. It's like, oh, well, that's great. That would have been so good.
Granted, they're not immortal.
True, that's actually a good point, actually.
As I said, I think they did try. I think they did try to do it on the 7th year, but it's like because it was so crap. It's like, eh.
Yeah, but what more
care.
could you expect? I'm sorry for all the hate on Jodie's era, but you know, it's funny. I mean, I don't hate the era. It could be better, couldn't it? It could be a lot better.
Oh, a lot of my course mates at uni, when they heard the news about Jodie Whittaker, quite a lot of them said, "Fuck yes."
Oh dear.
All of them was like praising. It's like, oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, I mean, I like the idea of a female doctor. I just don't like the idea of a female doctor for the sake of it. I wish there'd be like a fact that cast an actress that understands the show, which Jodie clearly didn't watch the show growing up.
Not just David's friend.
Yeah, and someone who clearly has the sort of vibe like Joe Martin. Like, Chris Chibnall casted such a good actress to play a doctor that isn't even, like a present, iteration of the Doctor yet, or should, or was, or what the fuck ever. But he casted such a good actress who can actually play the Doctor.
But it's just not, we only see them like twice.
We only see Joe Martin twice in series 12, and that's it. She was such a good Doctor. In the one full episode that we see her in, she's much better than Jodie, in my opinion. These are all opinions, by the way, so if you don't like them, I'm sorry, but you know what? You can have your own opinions. We won't judge. But no, back to Last Christmas.
Again.
Well, I mean, we were saying this actually jokingly. It's like, we didn't know how good we had it. Like, this episode was good. At least we had Christmas specials back then. We don't anymore. We have New Year's specials, if even.
And it's the same episode twice, though. The two episodes with Jodie Whittaker, I'm pretty sure they're just copy and paste of each other. How I see them most of the parts.
The first two. Oh, you mean Ghost Monument and
the
the
two Dalek films.
The two. Oh, you mean the two New Year's specials? I actually like the first Dalek one though. That's the difference.
But the second one is like a clone of it. It's like
yeah. That's actually a good point. You know, it's just a Dalek runabout episode. It's not anything.
It's like,
special.
oh, we forgot to put Daleks in this series again.
Yeah.
New Year's.
Like that's the
used to be good.
That's the difference, though. They were actually clever in Resolution. In Revolution of the Daleks, they were just like, oh, let's just make new Daleks and be done with it.
I think someone went to write a title, like say, hey, we'll just do the same thing as last year. But they just spelled Resolution or Revolution wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Whichever one it was.
Resolution was the good one, the first one. Revolution was the one with the new...
It's a one-letter difference.
Was with the new design of the Daleks, the drone Dalek, the black drone Dalek they had. They didn't even last. They probably won't even fucking use them again. What was the point of making a new Dalek design if you're not going to use them?
That just reminds me of Matt Smith.
Yeah, with the Paradigm ones.
Yeah.
But yeah,
oh, wait, no, they were used once other time in the background.
In Asylum of the Daleks. Yeah. That's
okay, twice then. The Pandora's box.
Oh yeah, the Pandorica, yeah. That's it.
Yeah, the Pandorica, sorry. I had you for the actual mythology.
Yeah, can't get that mixed up with Doctor Who. I mean, what's the fucking difference at this point? But anyway, yeah, so Last Christmas. A good episode. We get very sidetracked a lot, but nothing's changed.
It gives me something to talk about.
I liked Last Christmas a lot more than I remember. I mean, it's good. I don't know what else to say about it. I just enjoyed it. I think it's a good concept, and it's not heavy-handed with the Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
The only issue is they didn't commit. It would have been such a good conclusion to Clara. It's a great character piece for Clara, but it's just undercut by the whimsical, oh, she's not old. Oh, let's go on adventures again. It's like, you wasted this really good opportunity for a really emotional character conclusion here, and you just, I don't know. Anyway, I guess that's it. Unless you have anything more to say.
I do not.
Fair enough. Oh, actually, no, at the start, we mentioned how much we missed the title sequence as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, this was a good title sequence. The spirals with
again,
the time
it was
clock
another thing.
and the cogs at the start.
I think
Capaldi's title
definitely
sequence.
at the time, which explains...
We were like, oh, it's just a regular title sequence. But now looking back, it's like, this was a fucking good theme tune and title sequence. We did not appreciate it.
Which also explains how the episode is like, we were like... At the time, I didn't like the clock thing much.
Yeah, but damn, that suits Doctor Who so well, doesn't it? It's just such a cool sort of fucking like Edwardian type of like steampunk type of style, and it's just such a cool sci-fi, especially the theme tune. It goes so high pitched with the do 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 thing at the end of this.
Yeah, didn't we all get really annoyed about it? When it came out? I did. I thought it was too high pitched.
I thought it was alright. I feel like the title sequence, like the actual animatic of the actual TARDIS doing all this thing, I was a bit like, it's not really, it's not a vortex, is it? I was being very picky, but now I'm like, this is actually really good. And the theme tune I was a big fan of at the time, I think.
Which again, explains like,
and it's so different.
This episode is like, we were like, at the time, but seeing what we've got afterwards is like, this is so bad.
It's so much I mean, the thing is, I think what we didn't realise is how fucking good the Russell T Davies era was. Like, there were some stinker episodes in there, but my God, it was good, which is why it was such like a vast contrast when going into Moffat's, because it's not like Moffat's era was bad. There were certainly a few more stinker episodes in his era than Russell T Davies, but on a whole, it was okay. It's just was very, very different from what we were used to with like Russell's. And even then, we basically acclimatized to Matt Smith, and then when Capaldi came on, it was very different. So at the time, we were like, oh, it's mediocre at best. And now looking back, it's like, geez, Capaldi was such a good actor as the Doctor, and we just overlooked how much talent he had as the Doctor. Ugh,
yeah,
blimey.
He is a big fan.
I don't think that's the thing. I don't think I ever hated his Doctor or his era.
No,
I just thought it was very.
The writing was a bit meh.
I think we still think that though, for the most part. I think we've grown a lot more kind to it, because it's like
we've seen
Chibnall.
We've seen a bad episode.
Yeah. Chibnall's era is just... the thing is, as well, what's funny is that maybe in like 5 years' time, we've got a new showrunner. We'll look back on Chibnall's era and we'll be like, that wasn't as bad as we thought, right?
Oh,
I don't see
no,
that happening to the
sounds
same
so
degree.
bad. It's like,
How low can it go? Yeah, but I don't know. I think that
maybe change the show to Limbo.
just how
Limbo
fucking low-
who?
Yeah, just how
Limbo.
low, how fucking the show just nosedives. I hope it doesn't because Jodie's leaving in 2022. So, like after that, 2023 is the 60th anniversary of the show. So, I hope it doesn't nosedive that year, in the 60th anniversary.
Oh, with a new Doctor, and you're gonna have
Yep.
a 6th anniversary, and it.
I mean, I kind of like if they have a competent showrunner and they cast someone good. I don't care who it is. Well, I do, but I just want them. I just want them to be good, and as long as they have a good actor in the role and a competent showrunner that understands the lore of the show, and then please pray to God that we get a good 60th anniversary episode or whatever. But no, it's like I was just ending my point. I think it'd be funny if you find that fucking, like I say, in 5 years, we look back on Chibnall's era and we're like, arachnids in the UK, that's not that bad of an episode. I don't think I ever say that, but, it's one of those weird things, isn't it? Like, I don't hate, there are some episodes in Jodie's era I don't dislike. I think that as a collective package, I was very displeased.
Guess we'll have to go through and see them probably a few
as
years
a retro review, it might be interesting.
Yeah, because it's been that long since we've had anything. It might as well be retro.
Yeah, I mean, no, we're getting series 13 later this year.
Done. Episode done.
All right, but no, that's the end. See you in a bit, guys. This has been our review of Last Christmas. I'm giving
we eventually got to a review.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's actually very good. I'm a big fan of this episode. What do you think? Capaldi's good. Clara's.
I'm putting it down to an 8 for the ending.
Yeah, I mean that's why it wouldn't be a 10. I really actually 8.5. 8.5. Yeah, I'm getting 8.5.
That ending
it's good,
is like
it's good. It's a good,
especially because that
Christmas episode.
ending led to
a bad series to come. I'm sticking to my guns. I will never look back on series 9 and think that it was good. The only thing's good about it, Heaven Sent, and then Under Lake Before the Flood. Yeah, cut to 5 years' time. Wow! Magician's Apprentice, so good. Hellbent, best episode ever!
You finally got a beard at that point.
Yeah. Oh my god. No, but yeah, that's it for this review. Last Christmas, what do you guys think of it? If you want to let us know, please do. Comments are there. If not, that's fine as well. Yeah, that's it. Dream crabs coming from the ceiling.
Face hoggers.
Wait, was this a dream the whole time? What the fuck? Wait, Kane, was that whole review a dream?
Yeah, it was all a dream. 10 Judy. And yeah.
Oh, Clara! Oh, Clara. Do you know where the hybrid is, Clara? Should I do it again? Let me see that.
No, you're now.
I'm sweating in this.
Okay.
Right, ready?
I can see it. Yep, I can see it.
See what?
The screwdriver just sticking out.
You recording?
I am, yeah.
Lovely. All right. Ready? Oh, Clara. Clara. Oh, Clara. Do you know where the hybrid is, Clara?
No, Zach. Kane. Not Clara. Kane.
Look up here. Look up here. My face is up here, Kane. All right, let's go again.
Yeah, go.
Fuck's sake, this is so hard. Okay. Oh, Clara. You're smacking. I can't help it. This is so jokes. All right, I'll go again.
I saw that. Projectile.
Yeah, projectile. Pew! All right, let's do this. Clara, would you like a tangerine, Clara?
Ow. Hit my ass.
Give it back. I'll do it again. Clara, would you like a tangerine, Clara?
Ow.
Straight on the head. That was so funny. It went bonk and then dropped. Let me look at that take.
Oh.
It's a hybrid. It's a hybrid. Oh.
My little Pokemon's a hybrid.
The hybrid. Hybrid.
Hybrid.
Hold on. Wait, should I have
Hi, needles.
one for this or what? Is the lighting alright, by the way?
Your lighting's fine. No glasses.
Like this, yeah?
Yeah. Also, I'm just doing it where I'm sitting, so it's actually my eyes.
What, on
Okay,
screen?
it's focusing to your screen now. Yeah, it recognizes your face. Alright, we're good.